much better than turn one
Then
go.
turn one, yeah, land go. John Milner is going to play his land untapped as opposed to just putting it straight into play tapped. And he's going to play Boros Elite.
I like Gene's chances. He's both the better one drop, the bestest of one drops, and he has the play. That's quite a few champion of the pairs.
That's a pair of champions. Let's see if Gene passes here with keeping the double champion hand.
He was telling us earlier that he won a game. He had a game where he only had one land, but he had 4 champion of the parishes, so he won very easily.
It looks like
he did not play a second land.
He did not play a second land. So John Milner, meanwhile, has a handful of lands over there.
That is correct, but he's staring down barrel. If Gene simply plays a land per turn, he's in pretty good shape. Mayor of Aberbrook might will definitely force Gene to have either lands or one drops.
Yep. Gene does have a lot of one drops, though. He has Champion, he has Experiment 1, and he has Boros Elite. So only 12 actually.
Yeah.
I thought he had more than that. But he's able to cast all of his one drops, including Experiment 1. There it is.
The upgrade on both of his champions.
Yep. With the Human Ooze. So he's got a 2/2 and a 3/3, with which he'll be able to attack should he so choose.
John Milner is from
Bern,
Memphis, Tennessee, currently. That's
by
where he
way
lives.
of Bern, New York. You might recognize him as a player who finished 3rd in SCG Nashville only 2 weeks ago with this same deck.
Recognize the name.
Yes.
Pay attention to the deck list. I don't always put faces with names.
So if you face John
Frontline
Milner in
medic,
the future,
you draw.
Yes.
Pretty good. I don't think John has is only a couple other spells. I see at least 3 lands.
He has Boros Elite and a red spell of some kind. It looks like
I believe
a
it's
series.
Kessig Malcontents.
Is it Kessig Malcontents? Okay. Now, Kessig Malcontents is a card that you might not be super used to.
It was in our 12 seconds. They featured putting Kessig Malcontents on his deck and a handshake.
Well, I wasn't here for that,
Yeah.
so I want to be more familiar with Kessig Malcontents. So let's take a look at it.
I love this card in Blitz decks.
So it deals damage to target player equal to the number of humans you control. That is not equal to the number of humans you control to target creature or player, just to target player.
Just players. That is Searing Spear and the aforementioned Malcontents, I believe.
Yep.
He's thinking about whether or not he wants to Searing Spear champion now or later. Not much reason to do it now. He can, unless you want to play around Giant Growth, which is probably enough of a reason, actually.
Yeah.
Think about it. Especially one of the ways you could lose this game is to just attacking. Like if he just goes to attack, a Giant Growth would be a big blowout.
Yep.
So
in response to the trigger, here's a Searing Spear to be able to take down the largest of the champions. However, the other champion is going to trigger and go up to a 3/3. Gene's board much less impressive, of course.
All right, Gene. I mean, obviously, no second land is really hurting his chances. But when you play with so few lands, he's actually playing an extra land over most decks. He's playing 21.
Yep, and John is playing the normal 20.
The standard 20. So Gene's gonna get in there, thinking about
deciding if he needs to play defense here.
Clearly not happy that his opponent had lands and spells.
Yes.
Whereas Gene only has spells.
Some people are so lucky, you know?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Some people have it all.
So, I think Gene he has a 3/3, and the Experiment ones can't attack because the Boros Elite is 2/2 from Mayor of Aberbrook. I like an attack here because if John wants to attack himself, he's likely going to send his Mayor of Aberbrook, and that would get eaten by
one of the experiments.
Yeah, trade.
Trade with an Experiment 1, yes. There's another Kessig Malcontents.
So that's both copies of them.
Both copies of Malcontents. So there's the first copy. That's going to deal 4 damage to Gene. So that'll drop Gene. There's the 4.
Yep.
Drop Gene to 10.
It does count itself, which is a really, really big thing. So, I mean, if you think about it, this is a pretty standard board for casting malcontents. I mean, a 3/1 that deals 4 damage when it comes into play.
Yep.
It's like having like haste.
Yeah, it's like being Viashino First Blade,
Yes.
but having 3 power afterwards.
Yes. And not having to use a combat.
And also being unblockable.
Yes. Not having to use a combat step is very big.
Yes.
So only the 2 Boros Elites come in. I like that.
So they're both 2/2s.
They are. Via the Mayor of Averbrook. Basically, Gene really needs a land to come into play untapped and a probably multiple spells. Like he needs at least 1 Burning Tree Emissary. He's asking for. I don't think he got. Oh, he did.
Cavern.
That's gonna name human. That's a Burning Tree Emissary.
Excellent. So this is where.
So this is how Gene can win this game. He's gonna have
if Gene
very,
done this
very
on
good
turn
attacks.
2, that would have been much better.
This game is
so
not
now,
particularly
let's
close.
see if he remembers the other champion trigger here.
Yes, it's another champion trigger, and I believe, Gene has a Mayor of Averbrook.
Wow.
So this could be a incredibly explosive turn. This is a Mayor of Averbrook. This might be, it's not quite lethal, but it is going to force John to trade.
Now, what is that?
That's a Mayor of Averbrook.
Oh, okay, that's a Mayor of Averbrook.
I would imagine.
I would guess, yes. Could be a Scorn Villager, but it's a Mayor of Averbrook.
Yep. So, yeah, so an attack with the experiment ones and the Champion of Parish will force
John
2
to
blocks. Yes. So just in the nick of time, Gene should if Gene doesn't attack with. Oh, he's asking if he actually did miss the Mayor trigger.
He missed the 3rd trigger this time.
Yes. So.
In
so
comes
yeah.
everything.
John has to block 2 creatures here.
Yep.
So he could kill off one of the experiment ones by blocking with his casting malcontents. But the Mayor itself is going to have to chump the Champion of the Parish.
Yep.
John's still going to fall to 3, still going to have 4 lethal attackers next turn.
Yep, and
So,
Gene getting that land just in the nick of time. Gene showcasing the power. I mean, he could have had that on turn 2.
Pretty close. He would only have 1 champion in play, but yeah, if he hits on turn 3 or 4, this game's not close.
Yeah.
The draw is very explosive. So
nothing but a 3-drop for John Milner.
And there's not too many cards that John could have here. He just has 2 1/1s in play with Gene at 6. The malcontents will bring him to 3. I suppose a Searing Spear would have done it, or you'll Cloud Shift.
He also has 1 copy of Fiend Hunter in his deck. Which,
okay, that would do a lot of work.
Which would have done a lot of work. It wouldn't have won him the game by any stretch because Gene is still have 5 creatures in play.
Yeah.
All of which are larger.
So
than
a
John's
big deal for this game is that John had to chump block with some creatures or just block with creatures last turn, so his malcontents are smaller.
Yes.
So he's just aggressive enough.
So, yeah, John cannot win. He will be taking 3, 1 from the Mayor and 2 from
or 3
from something else.
Yeah.
And Gene's going to take game 1 of this Naya Blitz mirror that we knew was going to be rather quick. You know,
yeah.
One of the reasons why I don't like Naya Blitz that much is because why I like the Naya aggro deck better.
Okay.
Is because you can switch gears. You can theoretically play defense with cards like Loxodon Smiter, Voice of Resurgence, Strangleroot Geist even plays pretty good defense. So if you need to play a little bit of defense before you can go back on the offensive, you can.
Right. So the position of Naya Blitz in this format is that it plays defense against nothing.
Yes.
But the mirror.
But the mirror.
And that's a place you're allowed to be.
Sure.
Somebody's got to be the all beat down all the time deck. And that's what this Naya Human Blitz deck occupies in this format. It is faster than every other deck you could possibly play.
Moving on to sideboards here. Taking a look at their sideboards, they have slightly different cards going on, but not really.
Gene definitely changes a lot of his deck against. He really compromises But for very good cards. Boros Reckoner
Absolutely.
is one of the cards. If he can avoid playing a Cavern of Souls until it's his third land, and just play his humans off of his normal lands, or just doesn't draw a Cavern of Souls, Boros Reckoner is a huge card in the mirror. Also, Pillar of Flame is pretty much the best card against this deck, regardless of whether you're not playing the mirror.
Right.
So there are only 12 sources of red outside of Cavern of Souls. So only 12 ways to cast Pillar of Flame, but it's a very powerful card.
Absolutely. Looking at John's sideboard, John has not a lot for this matchup. He does have Fiend Hunters if he wants them. He also has Mark of Mutiny, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah. Azorius Arrestor.
He has a 1 of Azorius Arrestor. What do you think about that card?
I can get down with the Azorius Arrestor. I think this type of matchup is exactly the type of matchup you want.
Where you want the Azorius
the type of card I love seeing in a sideboard. I think it's awesome against Boros Reckoner decks too. And as it turns out, Gene's going to be a Boros Reckoner deck.
Yeah.
It's the type of card that it can play a little bit of defense. It doesn't play much defense. A detain is not that big of a deal.
Right.
But it also adds a human, so you get all your synergies. It's much easier to cast. In such a low land deck, that's the type of card I like seeing in sideboards, even if it is low powered compared to the rest of the deck.
Absolutely. I think that perhaps completely by accident, John's cards that he's bringing in from his sideboard are going to be good against Boros Reckoner, which isn't even in Gene's main deck.
The other card that you did not mention that's in John's sideboard is Gruultron.
To falter.
Creatures cannot block.
Sure, absolutely.
There are no flyers.
There are no flyers
in this matchup.
Yep. And so creatures cannot block might be a big deal. You're right.
I actually think this is what it's for. Even though when you're on the play.
So I think that I completely agree there. I just don't know how relevant making Gene's not really great at blocking deck not be able to block is.
Yes. I would like it a lot more if when John is on the draw and needs to steal something, like maybe there's some chump blocking that can, because there's not a lot of ways to, there's a lot of chump block potential.
Sure.
From both of these decks, and in a very much a racing situation, that's kind of what you want.
Yeah.
After that, what kind of cards do you not like?
I don't love Frontline Medic.
Yes, that was the actual first card I would take out. The other card I would take out is Flinthook Boar.
Okay, I could see taking out Flinthook Boar.
There are only 8 mountains in either player's deck.
The Cloud Shifts are also not great. Although you're bringing in Azorius Arrestor. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see.
Cloud Shift targeting Azorius Arrestor. Yeah, let's talk, John.
I need you to cast a Cloud Shift on your Azorius Arrestor, and I'm good to go after that.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing play.
My weekend will be complete.
Yeah, that would be a fantastic play.
Play of the weekend if we Cloud Shift and Azorius Arrestor. Please let that happen. Oh man.
All right, so we're underway. Champion of Parish. John has his good start.
Let's see if Gene can match up.
So I've only seen or heard about 2 of Gene's games, and he's had 6 Champion of the Parish
in those 2 games.
So let's see if he can keep up the pace.
He's also had a total of 3 lands in play in those 2 games.
Yes, that is true.
Boros Elite.
This
the
looks
tides
like the opposite.
have turned, yes. On the play, Champion of the Parish, and on the draw, Boros Elite.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Dear. 1.
Burning Tree Emissary.
A
Burning Tree Emissary.
And a 3. You want to give it haste?
He has his choice between fantastic card to play. He can play either Lightning Mauler and attack with a Burning Tree Emissary.
Yep, which I think is the correct
I agree.
And then next turn he can drop the mayor.
Yep.
Or he can arrest something.
Oh, he has the Azorius Arrestor?
He has the Arrestor.
Alright, so look at this.
That's
look
8
at this
power
draw.
attacking on turn 2. This Boros Elite has to block
this is more damage than most like legacy zoo decks.
Yes. Absolutely.
This is crazy.
That brings up a good point. Can we play like Burning Tree Emissary in Legacy?
On Star City this week,
Yeah.
Karsten Cotter brought up the possibilities.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a very good article.
If it's Frogmite, like, let's get real.
Yeah.
And actually play it in the most eternal, well, not the most eternal, but one of the most eternal formats. So how many Burning Tree Emissaries does Gene have?
Gene's going to be a lot more.
He does not have any.
0.
He has
0
a
is the
3/3.
wrong answer.
Yeah, 0 is the wrong answer. A 3/3 isn't really going to cut it.
Gene's on 10.
Gene's on 10 life. He paid 2 life for his first land, or he paid 2 life for both of his lands.
Yeah.
And then he took 6.
Arrest
your board.
You are under arrest.
Take 9.
Take 9.
Go to 1.
This is. You know what turn this is?
This is turn 3 of standard.
Turn 3. This is faster than my average Storm combo kill deck.
Yep. Looks like you found your new standard deck or legacy deck.
Deck. Yeah. I'm playing this. I'm doing commentary tomorrow.
Burning Tree Emissary, Storm of 2.
Yeah.
Yep, I like it. So John Milner,
Wow.
quite quickly, with a very good draw. There's nothing you can do there.
No.
There's nothing any deck can do there.
No,
Not really.
that is the most unbeatable draw I've seen from a standard deck in quite some time. That was.
And it involved Azorius Arrestor, folks. Buy them up while you still can.
You heard it here first. Azorius Arrestor on the watch list.
Yep. So Gene's going to be able to be on the play, which is obviously a huge deal.
Yeah. I think John would have won that game on the draw.
Probably.
That was quite
Spectacular.
a draw.
Yeah. The best turn 1 play, 2 of the best turn 2 plays.
Yeah.
And 1 of the better turn 2 plays also, in addition to the best 2 turn 2 plays.
Mm-hmm. He had his, he just couldn't find room in his draw for this Lord that pumped 4 of his guys.
Yep. Could not find room in his draw for 4 more damage.
Yeah. For 2 mana. Plus a guy, a Lord that pumped 4 guys, yeah. That was outrageous.
That was pretty unbelievable.
Alright. See if we get a similar match.
So
I wonder how important, what if you say you played 100 matches of identical Naya Blitz decks? How often would the deck on the play win?
It's got to be something like 70.
Yeah, this is probably
At
I don't think it matters very much. I think in general, it's very close between playing and drawing. It's probably they ran stats on it one year, and it's the play won 53% of the time.
Well, this one seems like the play is a lot better.
This one seems
match.
like it could not be more important.
Yeah.
And maybe
perhaps in the Jund mirror, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. Right.
But in this mirror, come on now.
Yeah. This mirror is
when games
huge.
are over on your opponent's turn 2 or 3.
Yes.
It gets
close,
pretty close. So one card that neither of these players have in their sideboard that a lot of Naya Blitz decks at least used to have in their sideboard is Nearhearth Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to function in just this type of situation.
Yeah. Azorius Arrestor has largely replaced that, apparently.
Apparently. Interesting.
There's only 1 copy, and we're talking about Azorius Arrestor, but there's only 1 copy of it. And it's functionally very similar.
There he is.
It serves the same purpose.
She is, sorry.
Instead of giving it creature lifelink, you just detain it.
Yep. Nearhearth Pilgrim also combos very well with Boros Reckoner. For some of the more Naya, not really mid-range, but the Naya aggro decks that require...
Yeah, oh, this is really disappointing. Gene has 2/3 of the combo. He has Boros Reckoner and Boros Charm in a sideboard.
Right, he needs the
Nearhearth Pilgrim
to go infinite. Or gain an arbitrarily large amount of life, I should say.
Go infinite.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so talking about the Naya Blitz sideboard as if it's, first of all, as if it's really that relevant. I mean, I think that there have been players that have top-aided tournaments with no sideboard.
We talked about Frank Karsten.
Frank Karsten in the WMCQ in England without a sideboard.
Netherlands, but yeah.
Netherlands. Sorry, apologies for
not knowing where Frank
not
Carson's
knowing
from.
where Frank Carson's. Go Orange. I apologize.
Nice.
But I mean, the sideboards are really not that important. I mean, how important is a Mizium Mortars in Gene's sideboard, for example?
I actually think a lot of these cards are actively take away from what his deck's trying to do. I like sideboard cards that you can retain this energy. Like, I love the Thalias.
Yes, Thalia is great.
In both sideboards.
3 copies of Thalia in both sideboards. I also like Mark of Mutiny in John's sideboard. I like Azorius Arrestor a lot because it continues to be aggressive.
Yes. Well, I don't hate Fiend Hunter either.
Fiend Hunter's a fine card. It pumps your experiments as well as your champions. But some of these cards, for example, Purify the Grave.
Yes, I do not like Purify the Grave. I actually don't like Boros Charm, although I understand that why there would be an appeal to it.
Absolutely.
Like Supreme Verdict, it seems very good against this deck.
I would rather run, for example, instead of Purify the Grave, Dryad Militant.
Yes.
It doesn't do exactly the same thing, but
it's not a human, but it's
your game
very castable, and it beats down like
every one of your lands can cast it, other than Catherine, unless you name Dryad.
Yeah.
And there isn't really a great replacement for Ray of Revelation, unfortunately. Right. The answer would be War Priest of Thune, but you can't do that mid-combat after a Geist has attacked with a Unflinching Courage on it, for example. Also, you get to destroy 2 things. It's Ancient Grudge. You get to destroy 2 of the things in the very synergistic deck. So
Cavern of Souls and the Champion of the Parish.
Leading with Cavern of Souls is a tad worrisome, isn't it?
Not usually. It's probably your best land to take. Otherwise, you're shocking yourself in a very fast mirror. So it looks like John matches Gene's play, but here comes Boros Elite.
And a 2/2. Is he missing his land drop again?
He has an experiment one. Yep, he's missing his land drop.
Man. Oh, there's the Arrestor.
There's a dude.
That's
looking for a Cloud Shift.
So right now.
So I think John's just going to be way ahead. He's got both a champion and another Boros Elite. So.
And Gene had the draw for that, but didn't have the land.
Missing the second land. Yeah. So you can absolutely see why these decks are, doing as well as they are.
Yeah.
Just because these starts are just crazy.
Absolutely ridiculous starts. Gene's going to be squarely behind the 8-ball again. He's going to pretty much need to find a land this turn, or else it's going to be way too late.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah, the reason Gene was able to win game 1 without a land. There it is.
He did find a land. Okay.
He's so tricky.
He caught us off guard.
The reason Gene was able to win game 1 is because John had his inferior 1-drops. He did not have Champion of the Parish.
Yes.
The Boros Elites never went Battalions.
And so they were just Mons, Goblins, Raiders.
Humans. Mons, Humans, Raiders.
Yeah, Mons, Humans, Raiders. Random punks. So Gene is going to cast probably a Burning Tree Emissary would be my guess.
I hope so.
Yep, there it is.
All right, there's Burning Tree Emissary. Sorely needed. Lightning Mauler would be good.
He needs to not miss any triggers, because we're very close now. And if either player misses a trigger on any of the champions, it's going to be...
Oh, wow. That's way better than anything.
Okay.
He uses his Burning Tree Emissary to cast two spells.
To cast 2 spells. To cast Experiment 1 and Pillar of Flame. Wow, very nice.
And the thing is, you can't cast Pillar of Flame otherwise.
Other than that, yeah. Other than Burning Tree Emissary.
Wow,
so he's going to attack for 5 here?
Yeah, so now John, that was a huge swing. Once again, Gene drawing his second land just on time.
Storm of 3, able to take out one of John's most important pieces, as well as add 2 bodies to the board. Spectacular turn for him.
Yeah, that was impressive. So another land for John.
He might be 2 He's got 3 2-drops in his hand. He needs to use this Azorius Arrestor on the defense now.
Yes, but it's huge on the defense.
It is. I think that what he does here is he plays a land tapped and plays Azorius Arrestor on the defense. Because next turn he'll be able to play his 4th land and play both the Maulers.
Oh, they're both lightning
They're both
maulers?
lightning Maulers, yes.
Okay.
So Azorius Arrestor comes down. He's going to trigger his own champion and detain the opposing champion. His champion is going to attack for 4.
Yeah, one thing he's gonna have to face is that Gene's Boros Elite is going to become battalioned.
Yes.
So that's a huge turning point. That's a ton of extra damage, and that's usually like the point. Like, if they get to attack me with a 3/3 Boros Elite, I have probably lost.
Sure. The flip side of that, though, is that John will have a 1/1 and a 2-power creature on the defense, so it'll be able to eat the other 2 creatures, and John will only go to 8, assuming Gene doesn't have a mayor or something else to grow his creatures quite large.
The other big thing about the detain is that Gene, he can't attack with his champion, but he can sure block with it.
He can sure block with it, that's right. This is almost certainly going to grow everything. That's a Flint Hoof Boar.
Just going to grow that one.
Just going to grow that one.
And it's only a 2/2.
Yep.
So I'm going to guess that's the only card left in Gene's hand that he can cast.
Yeah, the last card is most likely 3 mana.
Could be a...
Could also be a Madcap Skills.
Madcap Skills or another Flint Hoof Boar.
Boros Elite. It's going to become a 3/3. Interesting note, by the way, the Flint Hoof Boar is only a 2/2.
Yes. No mountain. There's only 8 mountains in the deck.
Yes.
So if they wanted to play more than 8, they would have to play basic mountain.
Yep. Not exactly where you want to be in the 3-color aggro deck.
Correct.
With the basic lands.
Without a lot of red cards to cast either.
Sure. So John has got to decide how he wants to block here. We have 2 2/2s and a 3/3 and a 3/3 coming in.
I feel like the Azorius Arrestor should block something.
And leave the Boros Elite back.
Yes, the Boros Elite cannot trade with any of the creatures.
Sure.
And chump blocking. If chump blocking is what needs to happen, you can jump block something much bigger than 3/3.
Now the other option here is to just take.
Yes.
Go to 7, or go to 4. Take 7, go to 4, and then try to alpha.
I don't think that alpha is... Let's say if he has 2 lightning maulers, what happens if you do better than 2 lightning maulers?
The only
say
way
he draws like Mayor.
Yeah.
Or Cloud Shift.
Cloud Shift would be very solid. Mayor.
That's a Mayor. So he took your line. I haven't done the math, but a Mayor plus, I think could be like, so Boros Elite's a 4/4. Yeah, it's absolutely not lethal.
Although, if he plays 2 creatures and only attacks with 3 creatures, then he can like go to 2 or 1.
Okay. Yeah, this is there's like a lot of math. You gotta, if you're John, you have to think through your turns.
Now,
this is actually
don't miss your trigger here. There you go.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Especially playing this deck in this sort of situation, it's very easy to miss
The
triggers.
other thing John could potentially do is pass.
With 2 mana up?
No. On attacks.
With all of his creatures, yeah. So there's his Mayor.
Because only his own champion can attack into... Only John's own champion can attack into Gene's champion.
Right. So do you think that you could do that? You want to attack with the 6/6?
The problem is that, like, on that,
so
John's got only at 4.
Right. So he is going to pass.
He needs to block. And for blocking to be good for him, there need to be profitable blocks.
This also sets John up to top deck, and John's top decks are actually... Oh, no Soul Bond on the haste. Just
that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no reason to soulbound if you are not going to take advantage of the haste. It's interesting. Lightning Mauler is probably the least actually soulbound. You use its soulbound ability probably the least. That does not mean it's the least powerful because haste is very, very good.
Absolutely.
When it's good,
but because it's only relevant the turn that the creature comes into play.
Right. You don't, and if you're not going to use it, you won't.
You won't soulbound.
Yeah.
I think that you pass on the soulbound.
Yeah.
More with Lightning Mauler than any other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is a really interesting game. So Gene looks like he's drawn a third land, and it's untapped.
No, this was in play last week.
Okay. Okay. I wonder how many cards Gene has. It can't be very many.
Gene has one card in his hand.
Just one?
Just the one. Drawn for turn. Still thinking about it.
Well, we know it's not casting Malcontents.
Right.
One, because it'd be in play.
And two, because it's not in Gene's deck.
Yes.
Yes. But John, that's why John has such a, like, he has better top decks. He has the Gorklan Rampagers. He has the Fiend Hunters. Well, I believe Gene probably sided into Fiend Hunter.
He did
no,
not.
He doesn't have any. Oh, yeah.
It's a little pricey. So here comes Lightning Mauler.
Lightning Mauler is going to trigger the champion. Champion on Gene's side is still smaller than the champion on John's side.
The Quarter game is check. Oh, we're shoving.
Yeah, I think that Gene is just like, all right, you deal with it. Also, John's deck has better top decks, like I mentioned. He has the Gorklan Rampager.
The other thing is that John has to block with all of his creatures.
Yes.
He does get to eat some of them, but these are not great. These are all trades.
Yes. And some of them are worse than trades, I believe. I think he has to block.
The Boros Elite, all his creatures are at least 2 power because of his Mayor.
Oh, sure.
And then the Mayor can block the Lightning Mauler and trade with that. So I think Gene should be left with just a Burning Tree Emissary, and John should have 2 life. I think the board is going to end up. Gene has 11 life and a Burning Tree Emissary. John has 2 life and a enormous Champion of the Parish.
Yeah. I would agree. Although it looks like
he's going to be okay. So John's going to go to 1 life. If these blocks are fine on it,
and
John's going to go to 1 life.
Boros Elite.
Just the Boros Elite.
Sure, which is basically the same thing, but leaving him with a smaller creature.
Yes.
We're going to change slightly. So more like what you said.
Yes.
Which is leaving the Burning Tree Emissary.
And that's these blocks.
That's exactly these blocks, which would leave only the Burning Tree Emissary and John's champion in play, with Gene at 11 and John at 2. So we have...
Because John still has a Lightning Mauler in his hand.
Ah, yes.
So if John draws a creature, I think he just wins on the spot.
Yeah, that's a 7/7. It needs to be a 2-power creature. He has a 7/7 champion and the 2-power Lightning Mauler.
It'll be a 6/6 champion, and it'll be an 8/8 if there are 2 humans that come into play.
Yes.
So I think John going. Yep, they're working out. I think Gene thought that he forgot the Mayor
pump for when the Boros Elite was blocked by a 2-power creature. That it was instead a 3-power creature.
Yes.
And so, like we mentioned, the board is now much clearer now that the rain is gone, and that's a Searing Spear. That is a very powerful magic card in this situation.
Is that lethal?
It may well be, because I think that's 8. So that's 7, 8, 9. Drop them to 2, and then Searing Spear for the win. Let's see him flip over the burn spell. There it is. And extends the hand. So John Milner able to pull that one out.
Gene,
not happy about
really
the top deck
nerve-wracking.
burn spell.
Yeah.
It was very close. Exciting,
Yeah, that was a very good, very good Nia Blitz match.
I had low hopes for the Nia Blitz mirror match.
Mirror matches are fantastic.
I was wrong. No, they were. They are.
Yeah.
You weren't here for the 75 card Jund mirror. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That devolved into a top deck war.
Weird.
As they do.
Well, that's all John wants to do.
Right.
So obviously in the mirror, both decks are going to
do that. Sure. And so, and then the Nia Blitz mirror, which I thought that was great. Yeah. That was a ton of fun to watch. So, John Milner's going to be 8-0. He's going to be able to draw into the top 8.
Essentially locks up the spot. Gene, not out of top 8.
Not out of top 8 contention.
He probably has a winning in, maybe 2 winning ins.
He probably has 2, based on the numbers.
Yeah. He has to, he has to win at least one. He needs at least a win and a draw, maybe 2 wins.
Yeah.
In the final 2 rounds, so.
Gene's everybody out there still trying to make the top 8. There's still this elephant in the room here, which is another Nia Blitz deck that has to play. So,
he only has to play against 1 opponent per round.
That's true.
So it's only going to derail two hopes in Gene's.
The top 8. So, I think that, I'm bushed after that, but we're going to, it appears as if the other game just finished. I don't know if the match is over just yet, but we will check on that, and we will update you with that. But Nia Blitz, sort of. The other match is over. So this was our longest lasting match.
Yeah, the Nia Blitz mirror.
The Nia Blitz mirror, which is of course what we saw. Nia Blitz falling out of favor the last couple of weeks, making a comeback here in St. Louis.
What do you think about Gene's attack?
I like Gene's attack. I don't think he had another choice. As I was saying before we started doing all the math, as I was saying, Gene's deck has worse top decks. John's deck.
John had a mayor in play.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal, but he still had to do it.
Yeah.
Because all of Gene's creatures are much worse on defense. The Boros Elite.
Yes.
All of the creatures are significantly better on offense. So he had to push. He had to press the advantage.
Yeah, I absolutely like the attack. Hope John just didn't have action left in his hand.
Yes. He needed to not have 5 damage.
Yeah.
Or 4 damage total between Searing Spear and Lightning Mauler. He could have had one or the other. He needed him to brick on one. He needed him to have a Boros Elite or something like that.
Yeah.
And he didn't. But John's deck has better top decks, as I was mentioning. He has Fiend Hunters, he has Gore Clan Rampagers, he even had, or I guess he already used the Arrestor.
Yes.
So he didn't have Azorius Arrestor, but he also has the Flinthoof Boar, 2 of them left in his deck, whereas Gene only had the 1. Also, his Flinthoof Boars are way better. Gene's top deck Flinthoof Boar is just a Grizzly Bear.
Yeah.
So I think that he had to press his advantage there, and I think that both players played well. I think
that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
we were just, Gene's here with us. We were talking about it. We think that was correct.
I can't let him bear trick.
Absolutely, right. and so all of Gene's creatures are better on offense. He has to press the advantage there. Gene has, just to recap, Gene has slightly worse top decks, and I think that was the best he could do.
Yeah.
It was just unfortunate that for him, fortunate for John Milner, that he was able to outlast and survive long enough to deal the last amount of damage.
We're going to toss it to break for now. We'll be back with round 9. Probably another match of players on the bubble.
Absolutely, and I'll be back with Joey Pasco, and you're going to go take a nap?
Unlikely.
Unlikely? Okay. He's going to go hang out with around the room, see what's left in the tournament.
I'm going to see what's up.
And scout around for us. Pleasure as always, sir.
Yeah, man.
We'll be
back
for round 9.
SCG Live is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, where you can now order items from the Liz Nugent Creature Collection, this month featuring the Turtle product line. You can purchase sleeves, dice bags, playmats, deck boxes, and card boxes with the new Turtle design. Plus, 2 free Turtle tokens will be included with every order over $5 between now and July 12th. Visit StarCityGames.com and order your Liz Nugent Creature Collection products today.
Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I have no idea where that is.
Girardeau, Missouri.
Yeah, he is the Missouri State champion.
All right, nice. And he's going to be up against Lucas Parson, Lucas is a face you might recognize. He was on Team Legit for the last Pro Tour. He's played on a couple of Pro Tours before. He top 100'd in Barcelona. He's a Kentucky native.
Yes. He's one of the better players in Kentucky.
Sure, and he is on one of the underrepresented decks that I was going to talk about.
Okay.
Junk Reanimator. What happened to all the Junk Reanimator?
Well, I was talking with what I would play, and I would have played the 4-color Reanimator deck. I would have played Junk Reanimator with Faithless Looting.
Sure. Of course.
So a little different. But David, it says control on the top of the thing. But Geist of St. Traff can beat somebody down pretty quickly. There are only 2 copies, so I think that's his Aetherling.
Yeah, that's his cheaper Aetherling. I don't know how many lands is he playing. 24, which is slightly less than the. He's only playing 24 lands, which is slightly less than the most of the decks that are running Aetherlings. The win condition.
I mean,
they're typically running around 26.
Tough to support 3 Sphinx's Revelation on only 24 lands.
Yes. Just real quickly before we get to this match, I wanted to mention the other deck that's underrepresented, which surprised me, is Junk Aristocrats. There just isn't a lot of Junk Aristocrats in the room. And that was a little surprising to me, considering how popular it seemed to be. Several articles went up. Obviously, Brad Nelson's a big proponent of the deck.
Yeah, not enough Brad Nelson fans.
I guess not.
Showed up to this tournament.
Yeah. Although I think that is a little bit of a symptom of the St. Louis area metagame. Every time that I've come to St. Louis,